Welcome back to Indiana News Desk. A tenured member of the Indiana University Law School faculty says the Board of Trustees ignored its own search committee recommendations in hiring Pamela Whitten as IU's president. Steve Sanders says his report is based on interviews with 8 people close to the search process. However, none of his sources are named in the story. Now, IU spokesman Chuck Carney says the university will not comment, but wants to make it clear that IU is committed to following all policies and laws to protect the integrity of personnel recruitment and hiring. We're joined now by Professor Steve Sanders, whose reporting on the story can be viewed at medium.com/@SteveSand. We'll have that online too, Steve. Okay. Thanks so much for being here. I guess first question is, what led to this investigation? Something clicked.
Yeah, almost immediately after President Whitten's appointment, I started hearing strange things from people about the search. I've been around IU for years, and you have sources and you pick up things. And I decided that the problem seemed serious enough that they deserved somebody who could investigate them in a systematic way. I was trained both as a journalist and then later as a scholar. I've been part of IU for 40 years. I think I probably had sources that no one else, that would not talk to anyone else. And so it just sort of evolved that I decided I would write what was a sort of combination of a piece of investigative journalism with the perspective and analysis of an academic article examining the search.
So what did you find?
What I found is that the search committee did what a search committee is supposed to do, that is to interview candidates, narrow down finalists. They sent a list of finalists to the Board of Trustees in January, and then for one reason or another, the trustees elected not to move forward with any of those finalists. Then instead, they hired a second search consultant and essentially struck out on their own at the 11th hour to look for a different candidate.
So you've also mentioned that there's a high-profile law firm requested some of your emails pertaining to your investigation into the search. Is this normal?
Well, I hope not.
Yeah.
At least if Indiana University is behind it. Indiana University has declined every possible opportunity I and others have given them to just deny that they know anything about this. Emails of university employees are public records, but I think most faculty would consider it a chill on their First Amendment rights and academic freedom if the university itself was seeking to intimidate a faculty member or seeking to find out how I knew what I knew. The search committee, they have targeted my communications with members of the search committee. That includes faculty as well as people outside the university. Those are the people who are supposed to help the trustees find a president. And I know that a good number of the search committee members are just unhappy with the process.
We have about 30 seconds left, but I did want to get to this payment to former President McRobbie for a little bit more than $500,000 that you came across.
Yeah, briefly what happened is the trustees got nervous the search would fail and that President McRobbie might need to stay in office for another 6 months. That turned out not to be necessary, but essentially, and I detail this in the story, what the trustees decided is they had basically a gentleman's agreement with McRobbie that they were going to honor anyway, since he had agreed to remain available if needed.
Steve, thank you so much for being here today. Of course, we have much more on this online.
My pleasure.
Thank
you,
you,
Joe.